All right, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a quinoa risotto, which is really good for you. And obviously we're going to have that beautiful kangaroo meat.
Beautiful. You're going to make a risotto out of that?
Yeah, well, something a bit different. You can use it exactly like you would rice. So I'll get you to get started on chopping the ingredients for the risotto. I've got some onion, beautiful mushrooms we're going to add into. So I'm using some brown mushrooms, but you could use anything you wanted, and lots of garlic and some thyme.
So you just finely diced for this one?
Finely diced would be great. And I'm going to pop in some beautiful quality olive oil. I'm going to reach across to you and put that straight in with my kangaroo. Some sea salt.
Nice.
And some pepper and some fresh rosemary. Now, as you know with kangaroo, it's all about getting the right flavour. So ideally what we want to do is we want this to marinate for as long as it possibly can. So we get that started before and then we get cooking with the risotto.
Beautiful. I love the leanness of kangaroo. A lot of people sort of want me to describe what kangaroo's like. It's sort of like venison in a way.
Good thing about it, it's a really brilliant protein source. So you're gonna feel nice and full for a long period of time when you eat this type of meat. It is good for the environment because we don't have as much of an issue in regards to how we actually rear kangaroo. It's more of a natural product.
It is extremely healthy for the environment. It's very zero impact on the environment. So we should actually be eating a lot more kangaroo in Australia.
All right, so I'm going to let that just sit there for about, as long as you can, really. This is all going to take about 15 minutes.
I reckon 14 minutes we'll let it marinate for. That's perfect.
All right, so let's get started. So you've done my onion, done the garlic.
How do you want me to slice the mushrooms for you?
Yeah, you just thinly dice would be perfect.
Yeah, thinly sliced.
All right, so we'll just pop this straight into a pan. Now, the thing with cooking, thank you. The thing with cooking on a barbecue, it's a really good idea to keep it on a low to medium heat. Those mushrooms are looking great.
Just give them a rough chop like that so they cook up nice and evenly. Put them in straight in there.
That's great, thank you.
Those onions are beautiful, nice and golden already.
All right, now quinoa is a low GI grain. You can use it exactly like you would a boyo rice, which is what you'd normally use for a risotto.
Now I've just found out there's a company or a farm in Tasmania that are actually producing organic quinoa. They've just started producing it. First one in Australia, so you can buy Australian quinoa now.
You know what? I think it's really important. I mean, I'm a passionate supporter of our food industry. It's really important that we buy Australian food because it's so good. It's so good for you.
Australian quinoa with Australian kangaroo. There we go. There's a dish, isn't it?
All right, so just let that stock absorb. The good thing about this recipe is you don't have to do it like you would a normal risotto where you've slowly got to absorb it. We're just going to put the whole thing in. And I'll get you to chop me some thyme. And then I think we'll let this sit for about 20 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes. We're going to keep stirring it. And it looks like we're going to get stuck into your little kangaroo recipe.
Delicious. Zoe, I'm going to make something really healthy. I'm sort of using some bush tucker.
Healthy?
For once. Well, I'm putting lots of meat. I'm going to have a big serving of meat because you know I love my kangaroo. But what I'm going to do is make a little salad to start with, and I'm going to get you to make the dressing. Okay. So what I've got in my little jug here is some balsamic vinegar. I've got a garlic clove here that I want you to microplane and get in there because I want that garlic sort of flavour.
Nice.
I want a nice, peaceful night's sleep tonight. And some lemon zest, a little bit of lemon zest in there, then cut it in half. And I've got some Dijon mustard and some olive oil. Olive oil, balsamic, Dijon mustard, garlic, and lemon juice and zest. A beautiful dressing.
Sounds like a nice dressing to me.
Now, do you remember when your mum used to do cucumbers and she'd get the fork like this and run it down the side there like that? I don't know if you ever remember that. And it gives it like a little groove on the side of it and breaks up the skin. But I sort of was looking at the cucumber thinking, you know, that's what my mum used to do with them. So I just thought I'd do that as well.
Is that the way she got you to eat the healthy stuff, did she? She made it decorative.
I was a good eater when I was a kid. I ate everything. So you can see it gives it a nice sort of little shape there. So my salad is going to be very simple. I've got some baby spinach here, some mesclun leaves, which is like a mix that any supermarket has them. And I'm just going to put the cucumber straight in there as well. I've got some baby beetroot here. So a little baby beetroot that I've cooked. And what I'm going to do is just cut these in half. I think the sweetness of the beetroot goes really well with kangaroo. And if you're cooking a lean meat like duck, venison, kangaroo, those sorts of things, sweeter sauces, sweeter ingredients tend to go with them. Things like cranberry with turkey. Yeah.
Well, definitely those gamier meats. I think the sweet is a beautiful balance overall to it.
I think so. And these beetroot I've cooked with some sugar, lots of sugar in there, lots of vinegar, and I just bring it to the boil, give them a peel, and in that goes into my salad. Now it's quite hot out of here, so we'll work fairly quickly to get the salad together. But I've got these things here, Zoe, which are bush or desert limes, they call them. but they're being preserved, and I think
Can I try one of those?
they're beautiful. It's almost a cross between a caper and a lime sort of thing. They're a little bit tart.
I like them a lot. They've got a beautiful flavour to them.
Fantastic.
And you're right, it does taste a little bit between a caper and a lime.
It's got a bit of zing to it as
Yeah.
well. I mean, you can cut them in half if you want, but for me, I like that little explosion when you put them in your mouth. So a good amount of them in there. I've got some of these baby tomatoes here, these little cherry tomatoes, which are in season at the moment, and my tomato tree at home, or my tomato plants, are producing heaps of tomatoes. I just have to stop the birds and the kids from getting to it first.
That's all right. If your kids are eating food straight off a vine, a tree, it's perfect. It's exactly what we want.
And I've got some chives here, and what I'm going to do with these chives is cut them straight through here. These are little battens. You can chop them really fine if you want, but I like to put them straight in there like that. And we've got some herbs here as well. Now, not everyone likes coriander or cilantro if you're in the States, but I'm just going to give that a rough chop. The other thing is you can chop it nice and fine and no one knows what it is. They don't like the flavour, but they don't know where it is. So in that goes there. Now, Zoe, can I get you to pick some of this basil and this parsley? The dressing looks great, and this is the best way to taste the dressing. I know people might not like this, but delicious. Well done.
Thank you.
Great dressing. Now I'm going to put some avocado. It's sort of like a complex salad,
it's a really lovely layered salad. I mean, it's got a lot of different flavour, colour. I mean, most of us eat with our eyes. It's a really good way to know what we're actually obviously putting in our mouth.
Well, I was thinking of putting a nice big slab of crispy bacon in here and pouring the dripping in here as well. But I thought everyone would expect me to do that. So I reckon I'm going to sit and blow people away thinking, you know, this is quite healthy and tasty, but it's the kangaroo that it's all about. That's what today's all about.
Yep.
And this is a great way of serving kangaroo with a salad in the summertime with the quinoa, which is really sort of filling. I think it's a great way to serve it.
Well, it's definitely, I mean, overall kangaroo is not only high protein meat, but it's low GI as well. So low glycemic means good for the blood sugar levels. It's going to give you a good long-lasting energy, and this is his favourite word. It's going to keep him full for a long time.
Keep me full for a long time, that's what I like. Now I've got some goat's cheese here. Now you can use ricotta or Danish feta or whatever sort of cheese you want, but I like a little bit of goat's cheese around the outside like that. It's really sort of sticky, but it's just, it's beautiful cheese. It's nice and creamy, and of course some salt in my salad dressing, and a nice big twist of black pepper. Now what I'll get you to do is just put that dressing into the jug that's sitting there, because I'm just going to dress this salad at the last second. I'm going to leave this like this and put it aside. Actually, I might put it into this bowl right now. I'm just going to put it straight into the bowl that I'm going to serve it so it looks nice and neat. And I think we should start cooking our kangaroo. What do you think?
Great.
In we go like that. A few more of these bits and pieces on top. I think the salad looks great already.
All right, Adrian, now I'm excited to see what's going to happen with yours. I've got my risotto to it almost ready. Kangaroo is marinated perfectly. I mean, like we said before, the longer you can leave it, the better, but 15 minutes will still get a lot of flavour. What are you doing with yours?
I like the marinade. I think it's great to get the flavour, but you know, if you just want to taste the kangaroo on its own, and for a lot of first-timers that have never had kangaroo, just maybe put a little bit of olive oil and a nice amount of salt. Cook it just the way, or think about it just the way you would, you know, cook a steak. I mean, I like plenty of salt on there because I think it brings out the flavour.
Yeah, he does.
There we
on
go.
everything, I might add.
There we go. And some pepper on there as well. Some black pepper on both sides of it. You know, good twist of it. And I reckon that way you'll get the best out of your kangaroo. And then once you get to know it and you know you love the flavour, you can add some other things to it. But this is perfect for me.
Yeah, I mean, that is a simple approach to it, definitely. I'm going to put this on the barbie. 4 minutes each side, because we do need this to rest as well to really get that flavour.
There we go. Now I'm going to move your pan over just a little bit so I can get over those hot coals there. 3 pieces for me, 2 pieces for you. Oh, I can't wait for this one to cook.
All right, my risotto is perfect. I put some baby spinach in there. The kangaroo looks delicious.
You want me to carve that for you?
That'll be great. So you can just put that straight on top of the risotto. You can serve it on the side if you want to, but I think presentation is incredibly important to make someone eat even more of this good food.
Beautiful. Now, we've rested this kangaroo to make sure it stays nice and juicy. Now, it might be a little bit rare for some people, but for me, and I'm sure you, Zoe, that's perfect, isn't it?
Absolutely perfect.
Look at that, that looks great. There's a nice, good portion. That's going to keep me going for days, isn't it? But I'm going to cut some of my kangaroo.
That's meant to be for 2 people, I might add. So.
Well, I'd eat that myself easily. I'm going to cut it. You can see how beautiful and pink it is. What I do is I cut across the grain so that, you know, it stays nice and tender. You know, you can make like a kangaroo kebab or shawarma, or just cut like this. You get the beautiful flavour out of it, nice and thin like that. I think it's the best way to serve it. Now, I'm going to use my fingers here and grab a little bit of this salad. I could use the tongs, but, you know, It's just you and me, Zoe. A little bit of salad on the side there, and I reckon some dressing over the top of that. I'm going to put some of the dressing
Very
over the
nice.
kangaroo as well. Just a little drizzle like that. A little bit over the salad like that. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on my kangaroo just to bring out the flavour. I reckon this is a cracker. Let's get into it. What do you think?
Let's try this. I'm gonna try a bit of that kangaroo to begin with. Oh, yum.
I'm going to try your quinoa risotto.
What do you think?
I love it. I love the mushrooms in there. Give it a great flavour. It's just like a risotto, you know. It just feels like a small grain of risotto. It's got a beautiful texture to it. You know what? I reckon that's really good. The mushrooms have really brought out the flavour.
It does go to show how easy it is to cook something like this. Now, I'm really going to try some of this salad because that looks absolutely delicious.
And, yeah, the salad together with a bit of dressing, and I put the dressing on the end so it doesn't wilt because there's nothing worse than having a salad outside the barbecue and everything's wilted.
It's beautiful, the complement between the goat's cheese, beetroot, lovely and sweet.
I love the kangaroo. It's a beautiful meat. It's not that different to beef, really. It's like a very mild flavoured beef. It's very lean, so that's why you don't want to overcook it. I think there can be nothing better than it. It's a beautiful, soft, delicate meat.
Well, these two dishes are amazing. Kangaroo, it wins out for me in so many ways. It is tasty, it is lean, and it's good for the environment.
And it's meat.